What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and for this video, man, I wanted to talk to you guys about update 4.0 sneak peek number 2, guys. And this is a monumental moment, guys. Just like I told you guys in the community post after we got the first sneak peek, update 4.0 is definitely going to shake the core of this game one way or another. It's either going to be the end of Future Fight as we know it and love it, even though it's been going downhill and a lot of people haven't had a lot of love for it lately. There's still some love there, and this update stands to either elevate this game back to the peak it once reached a very long time ago. As you guys can see from the thumbnail, and as some of you guys already saw, the dreaded Tier 3 advancement is on the way, guys. And this is actually going to come and it's going to cause a lot of controversy because a lot of people have been dreading this thing ever since it was a thought. However, it is almost guaranteed that it's going to come in this update because update 2.0, it was the exact same thing. We got new world bosses for the very first time and we got Tier 2 advancement. That was what we got for update 2.0. Now update 4.0 rolls around and it's time for Tier 3, guys. So get ready. And a lot of us, to be honest with you guys, even though a lot of us are not very welcoming of this right now, if you take a look at the fact that in the past few months, Netmarble has been giving us these dimension rift non-stop, making it possible to farm a ton of freaking black antimatter, so much so that people like me have so much freaking black antimatter. Take a look at this, guys. There's nearly 100,000 black antimatter here. At one point, this was premium material. For me to have this much, and on top of that, they're giving out freaking rank up tickets like hot cakes. I have a ton of tier 2 tickets, so it stands to reason that with all of these things that they're giving out, which now they're giving out 6-star selectors and tier 2 selectors, it stands to reason that Netmarble is preparing the entirety of the player base for a new challenge. Now, whether or not this new challenge is going to be something that can be attained without spending a whole bunch of money remains to be seen. On top of that, there is going to be no real point in Netmarble giving us a new level of power if we don't get content to back it up. So although I'm very wary of this tier 3 advancement thing, I'm looking forward to it simply because if that means we get more fresh content in this game, I am very, very happy about that, because as it stands right now, the game has gotten stale and the majority of the player base are only going through the motions. A lot of us just play this thing, do our dailies, and go do other things. There was a time when I literally could not put down my phone because I was in love with this game. And if 4.0 does that for me again, I will be extremely happy. Okay, there's not really much to go on right now. They mentioned Captain America in this preview, and Captain America was one of the very first characters that got his tier 2 advancement, which makes me feel like update 4.0 is going to be very, very similar to update 2.0. With that said, I'm just wondering, what are they going to do to the current setup for World Boss mode, guys? What are they going to do there? Is there going to be a change where the current World Bosses are actually going to be upgraded to Tier 3? Or are we going to be getting even more World Bosses and there's going to be a different level? And on top of that, is this new tier of power going to be comparable to the current system right here of World Boss Ultimate? Or will these tier 3 bosses be even more powerful than these guys? There's so much going through my head right now. There's so many ways they can go about this. I'm just really hoping that they don't just take the bosses that we already have, make them tier 3 and say that's the new content. If they do that, I'm going to be very, very upset. Granted, they could justify Thanos becoming a tier 3 character, and I guess they could make it so that all of these guys will get their uniform, become tier 3, but that would just feel kind of lazy. What would be really cool though is if they made some of the uniforms in this update, since there's going to be a whole shitload of them, locked behind being able to take on some of these challenges. I would love to see some uniforms in this game that are premium, but not premium because they're locked behind cash, premium because they're actually locked behind making progress and completing some of these stages. I would love to see a uniform that I have to take down all these bosses and I have to slowly build up my strength to get that uniform. That would give me a sense of accomplishment similar to what it felt like when I first unlocked these world bosses. I want to know what your thoughts are, guys, because I'm actually looking forward to update 4.0 now, simply because it hints that we may just be finally getting some new content. Really hoping it's not just a new look on some of the old content and that's it, because that's gonna piss off a whole lot of people. I'm also hoping that this tier 3 system is not completely locked behind cash, because that is what a lot of us are already bracing ourselves for. And if they do that, DC Unchained is going to see a large influx in their player base. I can definitely tell you guys that, because that is going to be more of the same. More premium stuff, and no real content. But anyways, guys, that is all I have to say for this one, man. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment. Are you excited for this tier 3 system? Are you excited for the potential of new world bosses? What are you looking forward to in update 4.0? Because as of right now, I can honestly tell you I feel like there is hope for Marvel Future Fight once again if this is actually done right. Because when the world bosses first came, it took people like me a year or so, close to a year, to freaking get to a point where I could comfortably complete all of these guys, right? And if these world boss ultimates weren't the same exact bosses that we were already fighting for a year, then they would have been cool and this would have lasted a lot longer. But because they were just more of the same, it didn't go over well with the player base. So I'm really hoping that we're not going to get another reskin, because that's just going to be a little bit annoying. But we'll just have to wait and see, guys. Can honestly tell you though, there is hope for update 4.0. Just hope that Netmarble doesn't waste this opportunity. But that's all for this one, man. Like always, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what your comments are, guys. And whether it's negative or positive, I want to hear how you guys feel about tier 3, because tier 3 has been hinted and, to be honest, expected for a very, very long time now. And when we saw people like Anti-Man and freaking Blue Marvel come into the game, I personally thought that these guys were going to be the first tier 3 characters because of how strong they are in the comics. We were expecting them to be that strong in this game. Granted, they are far superior to some of the tier 2s, so they may as well be tier 3. So when the tier 3 system comes in play in Marvel Future Fight, they may be the characters that you need in order to take down some of these tier 3 bosses. So if you haven't started working on getting some of your stronger characters decked out for this new challenge ahead, now may be the time, guys. Personally, when this update drops, depending on how difficult the content is, a lot of my freaking characters that I currently have just chilling here that are really good are gonna get their tier 2 freaking passive, man. You guys might see me put up a video where like 20 or 30 characters are just getting their tier 2 like pop, 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 pop. Okay? If that's what it takes to get through some of this new content. I'm excited for potential new content, but if it's not there, I guess I'll just be back grinding on DC Unchained. The sadness in my soul. But alright, guys, I'm done rambling. I'm out, man. Peace.